All right, Bucks lose in what was a great season, but a heartbreaking ending. This is now 2 times in 3 years they've lost the heartbreaker in the divisional round. This one a little bit less heartbreaking. I mean, the Rams lost. Obviously, it felt like the winner of that game was going to win the Super Bowl. Not to say they would have, but would have had a good chance. Would have been favored in every game along the way had they gotten past the Rams. This one, they probably would have been double-digit underdogs against the 49ers if they found a way to get past this. So that kind of gives you, that takes the sting off a little bit, the reality that, I mean, who knows, win 2 games was totally possible. What also kind of takes the sting off a little bit is the Lions are a great team, and it's hard to sit here and say that the Lions didn't deserve to get to the end, or the wrong team won. Certainly, you have to tip your cap to the Detroit Lions, who, what a fun fan base, what a fun team. I mean, CJ Gardner-Johnson's the worst. That guy sucks, but everyone else on the Lions are great. Big fan of all of them. CJ Gardner-Johnson's not even good. Why are you talking trash? If Aiden Hutchinson wants to talk trash, fine. Anyway, credit to Lions though. They played, they played a great game. They were able to do so much effectively in this one. Specifically, I mean, again, it was a weird game where it was a defensive game at first, then all of a sudden it became a shootout at the end. But ultimately, Lions win. And what's the story of this game? What's the main thing you take away? I do think that I don't know. It's weird because it definitely both teams made mistakes. Both teams could look at this and say, they had their opportunities. As a Tampa Bay fan, my kind of main takeaway is Mike Evans, really good at football, right? Mike Evans able to do a lot well. He was kind of a big part of why they were able to get back into that game. I mean, that 4th and 14 play was great, and that was a great play by Baker. Obviously, the touchdown, you would have loved to get the 2-point conversion. Didn't end up mattering, but he did have a drop as well. But that touchdown at the end of the half, and Mike Evans was the offense. To me, for Tampa Bay, the key things you have to look at this offseason is just depth on the outside. I mean, again, the trenches defensively could still use some work for sure, but it's Detroit. Detroit's offensive line is amazing. You're not going to get a lot of pressure against them, even if you have a great defensive line. It is what it is. I think that for me, that's probably the main way I would look, because you saw the Lions, they were able to, when it wasn't Mike Evans getting stuff going, Mike Evans, Cade Otton, Chris Godwin, and Rashad White, which, hey, that's 4 players I listed. That's not nobody, but really that's all it is. And again, only 2 of those are wide receivers. So getting, again, Trey Palmer made some plays this season. David Moore made some plays this season, but I don't think either are guys you're like, oh yeah, we can rely on those guys the way you can on Mike Evans and a Chris Godwin. To me, that is an area I would look to address. And again, as fun as this season was, there is that one dark part that's, leading over your head a little bit of man, I mean, look at all the free agents that they have and all the key free agents. Levante David, Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield, still a free agent. A lot of guys that, you don't want to see them. I don't want to see them go. I want to keep everybody, as a fan. That's what I want. Hopefully, again, Mike Evans has to stay. And this game is exactly why. But yeah, you got to give credit to the Lions defense for being able to kind of limit things early on. They made enough plays. They covered better than maybe you would have thought going into this game, and that was a key aspect. And, again, the run defense is very good. It's been very good all year. Tampa Bay actually got a couple runs in this one, but still, the 2 turnovers are going to be talked about. We got to talk about Baker, right? That's obviously a huge story. The first turnover was a good pass that got batted up. And again, of course, CJ Gardner-Johnson was the guy who caught it, which is unfortunate. But, again, that was a good play by Baker. Evans has to catch that one, and that definitely stung. The other one you look at is the final drive, trying to make something happen. Just a bad play by Baker. But this is what Baker does. He's a gunslinger. He's going to take chances. Him taking chances got them back in the game, but ultimately could not get them all the way back in the game to win it. And again, for the Lions, this is what the Lions do, right? This is what the Lions have done all season, is their defense has made the key plays when they've had to, right? They've given up yards. Yes, and they gave up yards in this game. They've given up touchdowns. They gave up touchdowns in this game. But what they were able to do, is get the key plays, get the takeaways. And if they can do that, they absolutely stand a puncher's chance against San Francisco. Well, I'm saying I don't think Tampa Bay would have stood much a chance. Again, anything can happen. One game. Detroit definitely stands a chance. Again, Detroit's been a great team all season. Absolutely. And they're a top 4 team. They're in the Final Four for a reason right now. I thought Goff played really well here. I really did. Again, for Goff, he did throw one directed to Jamel Dean that got dropped. So he got away with that one. But other than that, he played a really clean game. And that's what you want as a Lions fan. You don't need Goff making tough throws, and he also made tough throws in this game, but you don't need that out of him. What you need from him is to not make the not make the blunders, and he didn't have any blunders. Again, been very good at that all season. Lions fans and I have kind of gotten into some debates because I've said, like, well, listen, he has been someone who does have a tendency of putting the ball in harm's way, and they'll kind of say, well, but this season he hasn't, and that's true, but again, playoffs and regular season are a different animal, but so far he's still done a great job at. I think he's had, he had one mistake last game and one mistake this game. You'll take one mistake a game. That's good. And then again, a couple of key guys to talk about for Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown obviously is amazing. Sam Laporta was at times uncoverable, and Jahmyr Gibbs also. I mean, that run to put them up 7 in the fourth quarter, one of their 2 touchdowns was huge. I thought, again. Maybe they could score anyway, who knows? But you don't want to have to take that chance to juke out an all-pro safety to make that happen. Good stuff by them. So that's my kind of Lions segment. I'll talk more about the Lions in the future. But again, this is a Tampa Bay fan reaction, so we'll get back to Tampa Bay here because, I didn't think KJ Britt played really well in this game. And I know we all kind of like to hate on Devin White and say that he sucks, but KJ Britt had a rough day, I thought. And Zion McCollum it is what it is. They thought it would work out this season, and it didn't. He's not an outside corner. He's played okay at safety. You can keep him there if you want to, but he's not an outside corner. He just isn't. And once Jamel Dean went down, that 3rd and 15, they targeted him like 3 times on that final drive. Not the final drive, but the one that got them up 7 points. And that 3rd and 15 was a killer. I mean, they could have had a chance. Again, they still got a chance down 8, but you would have liked to have 2 chances, I suppose, because who knows what happens if you get that stop there. Again, the Lions, I think you play this game 100 times. The Lions are winning more than 50 of them, but it also feels like Tampa Bay just didn't play their best game. I mean, these dropped passes, dropped interception, they had some penalties they didn't need to take. And again, all these missed blitz pickups was huge. That was a huge part of this game, and you got to give credit to Detroit, but at the same time, you got to pick up those blitzes. You just do. So, again, really fun season. Would have been awesome to find a way to get to the conference championship after starting off the year 4-7. But you can't look at this year and be mad. You just can't. Gutting loss. It was a gutting loss. I think the reason why this video isn't coming out 2 or 3 minutes earlier is because I think after that interception, I was just staring at the TV for a while before I finally got back to to making videos again. Definitely a devastating loss for sure. It was a heartbreaker, but at the same time, it was an awesome season, and the fact that you can get into position to have devastating losses is awesome. Anyone who was rooting for the Buccaneers to not make the playoffs early, because that was a debate when they were like 5-7. It's like, do you even want them to make the playoffs? I'm like, yes, because this was awesome. This whole run, going to the Eagles game was great. This game was great, even though they ended up losing it. The point of football is an entertainment product, and if you're if you're not entertained by this, I don't know what you're going to be entertained by, because this was awesome as a Tampa Bay fan, even if it fell short. And Detroit, man, a win away from the Super Bowl. They got their work cut out for them, but again, it's a fool who's counting them out at this point. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.